Hey guys, it's Kajche. So it's been a while. I'm still working on stuff. I'll get into that in a bit. But I thought, because it's been, 3 years now since I released the album Welcome to the Show, I figured maybe doing a production breakdown on some of the songs would be a cool idea. So I decided I'm going to do a production breakdown starting with the title track, Welcome to the Show. I think it's actually my favorite from the album. It's also probably my most in-depth one, with it being my longest song so far. And all the different genres and parts of the song that I have going into it. This is also my first time doing one of these, so well, I guess we'll start from the intro section. Probably take this section by section. So first of all, we've just got a bell pad that I've just drowned in reverb, basically. I'm also automating the reverb. I think I automate it quite a bit throughout the song. Or it's just at the start. Yeah, it's just at the start. Alright. So I've got about 4 bars, and then the bass, the drums come in. It's just a normal sub bass that's side chained to the kick. I've got a lot of samples in this drum rack. Got a drum bus on just to kind of bring up a bit more drive in the drums. So you can tell when I bypass it, it does a lot of work. We've just got a lot of percussion playing throughout the verse. It's just all very subtle bits of percussion in there. I've also got this pad playing. It plays a little melody. Lots of echo on this one, lots of reverb. Again, side chained it. That's basically all there is in the intro. I might turn off the vocals for now. We can get to the vocals later. The bass pretty much just gives way in the first verse, which is taken over by this pad that gives it a bit more ambience. It's actually a preset in this VST called Aljo Helix, which is one I don't use often, but it's pretty good. So yeah, it's got some high pass filter. Again, also very heavily side chained. There's actually 2 presets going on here. So there's this one as well. Going into the pickup with the chorus, we get the sub bass coming back in. I've got 2 other bass synths that help give a bit more grit to the bass when the guitar comes in as well. And then the acoustic kit also comes in, which back then I was just using samples. So I've got proper drum plugins now, but the acoustic drums, they sounded good at the time, but there's only so much you can do with samples. So I've actually thought about remastering some of these metal tracks in Welcome to the Show with updated drums with the new drum preset and also with updated guitars. Because the guitars in this album, I had a friend record for me. I have guitars and can play them now. So, which you probably will have heard in the teaser video I did for all the new stuff that I've been working on. Yeah, all the guitars in that are me. So I would like to redo these a bit, not fully, but update the drums and update the guitar. I'm thinking of treating them kind of like a guitar cover, to like show myself playing them. Very heavily compressed, lots of drum bass. This is not how I would process drums now. This was definitely a 3 or 4 years ago thing when I made the song. Yeah, so also boosted a lot of the bass frequencies in this one to make the kick kind of a bit boomier. This was how I produced 4 years ago. The bass sounds, just some very gritty, distorted bass, which I feel kind of makes the guitar a bit fuller. It's a bit, I don't know if tinny's the right word for it, but it's not as full as I would have liked it. Partially also because we didn't double track it, which is also something that I do now, which is basically when you grab your guitar and you do 2 different takes, 2 completely separate takes. You pan one of them to the left, pan one of them to the right, and it just makes the guitar sound a lot fuller. But it was also like the distortion sound and everything that we were using. I also upped the high frequencies a lot on there, which I probably wouldn't do as much now. I'd probably be boosting more of the mids, and maybe a bit of the lows. But I do like a bassy mix, and then some big impact hits to kind of aid in that impact of the chorus. Got a kick and an impact. Got some more impacts there. And then this starts pretty similar to verse 1, and then kicks into more of a metal thing in the last half of verse 2. Oh yeah, this was a pretty big thing that I used throughout this song. Is there's a kick that I used. Which one is it? That one. Lots of filtering going on, so I've gotten rid of a lot of the high end, where a lot of the transients are, and then I removed a lot of the low end so that it's not super bassy. I kind of wanted it as like a kind of treating it like a percussion hit. Yeah, even in this metal section, I'm actually still using the electronic kit quite a bit. You'll particularly hear a lot more of it in the chorus, mainly with the hi-hats and the percussion hits. So yeah, this part is literally just the kick and snare is actually Oh, the China's symbols are all in here. Yeah, I don't know why I separated them out. I did drums weirdly. This was still when I was figuring out how to write metal tracks. So there's a lot of stuff that I do in this song that isn't actually my current process now, and you'll definitely be able to hear them when you go and listen to some of my newer stuff that I'll hopefully be releasing shortly, but you have heard snippets of them in that teaser video. A full chorus again. Go to when we bring it down. And this is the part that this was what I started the song with. So this song was very inspired by the I think it was the gameplay trailer for Security Breach, where they used Crumbling Dreams, Ballora's music box song, in the trailer. And I really liked the way they used that theme and wrote everything around it. So you can particularly hear it in here, where I kind of have a lot of the big hits, like at the start of each phrase. So that was very inspired by that Security Breach trailer. So even like, you know, I kind of hint at it by having this bell pad do the melody line, but then here the vocals will actually take over doing that. So here the bell pad is literally just doing chords. The chords in this song are also kind of interesting. I'm playing with a lot of out of key chords, which was also something I didn't used to do very often. So this was really my first time really playing with that. So like the song's in C minor. And then, you know, I throw in a D flat in here, which comes from F minor. So I'm kind of borrowing chords from different things. You'll see in the refrains particularly a lot of borrowed chords. I've got another bass synth now, which basically just hits the C and the F. Very saturated, decent amount of reverb. In this second half of the hook, the third and fourth times I do them, I turn on an amp and compress them to the kick. This whole time that heavily filtered percussion kick is going. And then I've also got this distorted bass, which I would normally do with the guitars. I decided to have it on its own, so it's kind of treated like a guitar, except I don't have the guitar in this part at all. So now into the refrains. We've got another Aljo Helix, using this. Okay, it looks like I have played with the preset a bit. very saturated, distorted. I also have this synth that kind of gives the chords a bit more substance to them. And then, so this is literally just going between C minor and G. This part's where the chords get really interesting. I've got C minor, G major, C minor again, and then I bump it up to D major. C, what is that? C minor, yeah, that's still C minor. D minor, F minor, G minor, and then A flat minor. Actually, no, I think that G's, can't tell if that G's major. It might just be a fifth. I might have left it ambiguous on purpose. And then we hit the breakdown. So we've got lots going on in the drums, particularly the kicks. Very, very overcompressed. Which you can particularly hear now, like it's kind of peaking. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that China is also ridiculously loud. I wasn't the great at balancing out the cymbals in a lot of these earlier songs, which is pretty common throughout the whole Welcome to the Show album. Another thing I'd like to change, because the cymbals, particularly the Chinas, are just way too loud and overpowering compared to the rest of the kit. All of the basses except for this brass bass, which only plays in the hook, all doing the breakdown riff. Here I've also got the guitar doing a very dissonant thing in the background, as well as a very heavy reverb, kind of like bending on the high C, which I also have mirrored in a in this synth here. So this synth and this guitar actually do the same thing. Oh, that gets very dissonant there. I actually didn't realize they got out of sync pitch-wise there. Sure. Oh, that's gross. This semitonal rise up kind of just overpowers all of that. So I never even noticed that. So yeah, it's literally just going up a semitone from C to G gradually, which I thought was kind of cool. Just some electronic rides into a bit of an instrumental break here. So using those same synths, same pads. I use that percussion hit a lot as well in this one. And then the accompaniment bells come in again. Some palm muted guitars. And a sub bass. Yeah, that breakdown also has a lot of impact sounds. Let's actually go over those. That is a lot more than I would probably normally put on now. What have we got? We've got the kick, the impact. So some of these we'll have heard before. a low end hit. I'm guessing that's tuned as close to a C as I could. Impact. Another impact. Big impact. Another big impact. A lot of big impacts. And yeah, I've got that processed crash. So there's a lot of noise going on in this part. Pretty standard for this part. And then this part is this riff here. So I actually still wrote all the guitar parts. I just got my friend to play them. This part I didn't write. This was kind of a... my friend was just messing around and ended up recording this part that I thought actually worked really well in the build up to the next, like the final chorus. So I kept it in. And then same chorus we've already heard, but it then goes into a really big metal version of the hook that played earlier. So we've actually got all the metal drums attached to it. All the bass parts are the same. This part is actually the same as this part. I just removed the more prominent kick and snare because that's now getting done by the acoustic kit. Even the bell pad is still playing the chord, so basically everything is mostly the same in the hook. I've just added acoustic kit and guitar to it. And then I close it with a big C power chord and that filtered kick sample. Onto the vocals. Now, I'm not a vocalist. I've definitely gotten better since I recorded all these. These would have still been 4 years ago. So I've definitely gotten a lot better. But yeah, there's even now I still do a decent bit of pitch correction, but there was a lot going into the pitch correction back in here.
One glance inside, I turn tail and run.
So lots of reverb. I had 2 reverbs, delay, and a flanger, which is a pretty common sound that I do in some of these songs. This is the same take. I've just pitched it down an octave on Complex Pro, and I just haven't changed any of the formants and enveloping, so it kind of gives this really gnarly, robotic type of sound, which I actually really like. So I turned off one of the reverbs, but it's basically a lot of the same processing on some of these. So it's very, very reverby. This harmony. I went into my... So I use FL Studio to pitch correct. Because they have New Tone in it, which I use. I manually drew in the harmony for this, so I didn't actually re-record any of the harmony parts. I basically just used the original chorus take and just dragged each of the notes up and drew in the harmonies, which is the same in this one as well. Which this one gets pretty high. Okay, so it goes up to that high E flat 5. Alright, back to verse 2 because I skipped over that one. Yeah, basically same production. I think this one actually has more. Oh no, this one's got an extra 5.5 dB on it. Because I sang louder on this one. And then into the screams down here. Very lots of saturation. Yeah, so not a lot of... What was going on in this EQ? Okay. Pulling up a lot of highs. So this one has like 2 lots of saturation, which is like distorting it a lot. What does it sound like without the saturation? Yeah, the saturation does a lot of the work there. This was also while I was still, I'm still learning. I've still got a lot to learn with heavy vocals, but yeah, this was very early on when I was doing them. Into the hook. Alright, so this is where we get into a lot of the vocal layering, and again, where the crumbling dreams aspect comes in.
Welcome to the show. Where will you run tonight?
Again, you can tell when you listen to it on its own.
Where will you run tonight?
Actually, no,
There's nowhere you can go.
No, that is a different take.
Don't shed your tears tonight.
So I actually gave this one a go recording its own take.
Can go tonight.
Okay, so some particular notes that I want to adjust on those words. And then that's just the main vocal an octave down.
Welcome to the show. Where will you run tonight?
And then on this version, I put it in a Complex Pro.
You can go. Welcome to the show.
This is basically just me singing the chords. So yeah, that's basically just one note. So that one's up a little bit as well.
There's laughing, there's playing, there's screaming.
I've got that octave down on here again.
And there's music. There's no need to fear, still you're rapid breathing. When not all that scary.
And then really kept it as minimal on that last, those last few beats going into the breakdown. And yeah, then just screams for the breakdown. I think I did. Yeah, I did automate the reverb on this one and the delay. And then You've got an 8-second scream here throughout the rise up. I was pretty impressed with that at the time.
Wait, we still want to play, so don't hide away. You're no match for these games. Wait,
And then it basically just does it again, but I'm singing the higher octave the second time I repeat the refrain.
Wait, we still want to play, so don't hide away. You're no match for these games.
I think I do deviate a little bit here.
Lock us away.
Yeah, I do.
We're not all the same.
Just that one note. And then I just added screams to this chorus and the hook. So yeah, there was a lot that went into this song. Which, when it's a 7.5 minute song, you kind of can't get away from there being a lot in it. But there was a lot of, like, you know, the more synthy parts and then the metal parts and everything, and there's a lot of different sections. In terms of a lot of my earlier songs, this is probably one of the more in-depth, complex ones I did, with like the production, the writing, even the music theory sides of things. There's like a lot of very interesting chords going on. I particularly use the D flat major chord pretty often throughout the song. A lot of these sections I actually don't start with the C minor. I don't actually start with the 1 chord. I think the verses and the chorus I actually start with the F minor, yeah. And the C minor isn't until like that big crash out when we properly resolve that chorus.
The hours drag on and on, you tell yourself.
It's the same here, I think. Yeah, I start with the F minor.
You gotta just give your all your way, we'll start running.
I do hit the C minor there, though. I think that's everything. This is going to be a longer video, so hopefully this was interesting. If there are any other songs you want to see me do a production breakdown for from Welcome to the Show, let me know and I'd be happy to do them. There's like, I can't even remember how many songs are on there. I think it's like 12. There's plenty of songs to go through. And if there's anything that you want me to spend a bit more time on in the production breakdown, let me know as well. Like, this is the first time I've done one of these, so yeah, let me know what you would like to see me go a bit more in depth onto with some of these, whether it's like the theory of it, more of the writing process. Before I close off as well, I want to say the next album is coming. Sanctums of Glitches and Mimics got a little overambitious, so it has actually been split into 2 albums now. My track list ended up being 23 songs, so I was like, that is gonna take ages to do. I've still got a lot of songs that haven't even been started yet, but the way I've split it up, volume 1 is actually almost done. I have 3 songs that need vocals recorded for, which vocals is the main reason why things take so long for me, because I don't get a lot of time to do them. But I just have 3 songs to go, basically. The rest of the album is the rest of volume 1 is pretty much done. There's 11 songs on volume 1. So 8 songs are done. 2 of them have videos ready to go. And I'm currently working on the 3rd video. And so hopefully we'll see volume 1 of Sanctums of Glitches and Mimics out soon. Sanctums of Glitches and Mimics is also purely based off of Security Breach, Ruin, and Secrets of the Mimic, which is another reason why it took a little longer to do, because I mean, it was in the name, which I've had for years, but I was like, with Secrets of the Mimic coming out, I want to have songs based off that game in it. So it got delayed a little bit longer so I could make songs for that game, which there are 2 songs based off Secrets of the Mimic in Volume 1, and there's a few more in Volume 2, which has 12 songs in it in total. So yeah, with that album, it'll just be Security Breach, Ruin, and Secrets of the Mimic. I won't be covering any of the other games. But I do plan to return to the other games after Sanctum of Glitches and Mimics. Yeah, I'm still working on stuff. Volume 1 is almost done, but it just needs a little bit more vocals wise, and then the videos need to be made. Yeah, I think that's everything. Let me know what song you want me to do a breakdown production of next. I'd be happy to do more of these. And yeah, I will see you around with probably the next production breakdown, or maybe I might post one of the songs that I have actually fully completed plus the video, so who knows. We'll see what happens. Alright, thanks for watching, I'll see you later, bye.